Sean Salisbury here for Open Sports. Let's take a look at the Texas football game against Ohio State. And it kind of turned out like people thought, but I think it was a closer game than people thought. It's amazing. First of all, congratulations to Todd Beckman. The way he came off the bench and played really, really good football, mixing in series, not being comfortable. The senior playing his last game at Ohio State. I give him a lot of credit. I give him a lot of credit because he made some really clutch throws coming in. And when they needed the ball thrown properly, they put Beckman in and put Pryor at wide receiver. But here's what it is that we know Ohio State's not explosive. Their defense did a hell of a job last night. And you look at the numbers and you say, well, they did a hell of a job. What are you talking about? Well, they defended the run and they kept it close most of the game. Now, you look at Colt McCoy's numbers and you say, well, nobody's really done a great job against that kid all year. And then Quan Cosby, who made the game-winning touchdown, had a lights out with 14 catches, 172 yards, and 2 touchdowns in his last game at Texas. A spectacular night for a veteran player. And he just made some things happen. Other than Quan Cosby and Colt McCoy hooking up, they did a really nice job at Ohio State's defense and played physical and kept them in the game. The problem is Ohio State had to kick too many field goals. They did. Now, they scored a couple touchdowns, but you can't substitute that for touchdown. They allowed Texas the ball at the end of the football game, which, you know what, it's going to happen. You allow Texas the football, and they go down and make a great touchdown pass on a slant route from McCoy to Quan Cosby. But it came down to, now, Pryor's got a chance, Terrell Pryor, to be special. He's going to have to polish his throwing far more. Heck, he may be as good a wide receiver as he is quarterback. He's going to have to polish that to be a complete double threat. He made some decent throws, but not enough of them. And they made him one-dimensional. He ran the football well, which is frightening. If he ever gets to the point where he can throw it like he runs it, Ohio State's going to be really dangerous. But Texas and Mack Brown, they find a way to do it. And we know Ohio State struggled in big national championship games. Even though this wasn't a national championship, it may have national championship implications when all is said and done. But Texas beat a really good football team in a close game, and yes, they have an argument. We'll see how the national championship game turns out. But it came down to star power. Colt McCoy did what he's done all year long. He's going to come back to school next year, chance at the Heisman Trophy, but he's really, really good, and he made plays with his feet. And more importantly, he made them with his arm, and his accuracy is uncanny, and he got the ball in Cosby's hands. That's what I said about the Florida-Oklahoma game. In big games like that, you want your best players to either win it or lose it for you. That's the way it works. Put a paddle in their hand and let them. You don't stick them out in a rowboat and say, here, do it with your hand. You put a paddle in your hand. You give them a weapon to work with, and that's exactly what Texas did. They put the ball and the paddle in the best players' hands, and guess what? The best players made it work, and Texas is a better football team by a little bit than Ohio State. But Ohio State did a nice job, deserve a lot of respect. They just couldn't make enough plays and couldn't get a stop in the end. Texas moves on to another great year by Mack Brown, and they move on to watch the same game we're watching Thursday to see and to hear and to feel if they are going to get an opportunity along with Utah to possibly leapfrog and get a split national title. Don't think it's going to happen, but they do have an argument. I'm Sean Salisbury for Open Sports.
Think you can complete the drive? Play today and get an automatic entry to win daily prizes, 2 tickets to the big game, and a brand new car. Start your drive today at opensports.com.